Food and Drug Administration notified the pharmaceutical company Moderna on Tuesday that it would not be reviewing Moderna's new mRNA flu vaccine. The reason the FDA gave for refusing to review the vaccine was that in the clinical trial, Moderna compared its experimental vaccine to that of a product that the FDA did not consider the best on the market. Moderna's leaders say the refusal comes out of the blue, as the company had previously communicated with FDA officials about its study. Joining us now, the president of Moderna, Dr. Stephen Hoge. Dr. Hoge, how much of a surprise was this? And what is the product in question here?
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a bit of a shock. We thought something that everybody could agree on is we need better flu vaccines for seniors in this country. And there are a number of different ways we can try to make that happen. But one that we know we might be able to do today is better match the vaccine for the circulating strains. And that's something we were hoping to do with our product, with our mRNA technology. It's something we've shown we can do year after year with the COVID vaccine. And it's a real problem in flu because the traditional ways of making flu vaccines in eggs take incredibly long periods of time. So experts in Switzerland, the WHO, will pick flu strains in February of the year and try and guess what the strains need to be at the coming fall. They're about to do that right now for this coming fall. And they sometimes guess wrong, and sometimes they pick a strain that's wrong for a country like the United States. It's a real issue right now because the strains circulating for influenza B, which is one of 3 of the strains in the vaccine, in the United States right now are unique. They're different than the strains circulating in Europe and Asia. And so it's very likely the WHO for this year will be selecting a strain of flu B, which isn't well matched to the strains that seniors will be facing in this country this coming fall. It's the kind of opportunity that we were hoping our technology could address. And we just wanted to make sure that seniors here would have access to that as an option, them and their healthcare providers, as they will in the rest of the world, because the file is under review in Europe and Canada and other countries.
Stephen, good morning. Thanks for coming on to explain this. The interesting thing when you look in a little bit deeper is the top FDA official who's been aggressive, frankly, on rejecting approvals for vaccines overruled the career scientists at the FDA on this and didn't even cite any safety concerns. So what did you hear as a reason for this rejection?
Well, that's another one where we're pretty confused. And so we're still trying to understand and we're seeking guidance, more guidance from the FDA. Taking a step back, you said it, the FDA has identified no safety or even specific efficacy risk with our product. This is an incredibly long process, and we've been working with the FDA on our flu vaccine for over 5 years. It takes a tremendous amount of money. It's very risky to bring a new medicine forward. And so we engaged with them prior to starting this same phase 3 study and actually sought their feedback on whether it would be acceptable. They agreed in writing it was acceptable and we could go forward even before starting. We then invested $1 billion, enrolled 41,000 people in this study. And ultimately, it was a huge success. In fact, we achieved superiority to all of the statistical standards the FDA asked us to over the licensed FDA-approved product that we were comparing ourselves to. We thought it was a bit of a home run. And so we sat down again with the FDA at the end of last summer, about 4 or 5 months ago, and said we wanted to submit this for review. And they agreed. The review staff within the office that reviews vaccines agreed that they would review that file. And so we went ahead with that submission. The letter from Dr. Prasad came somewhat out of the blue and ultimately said that that study that the FDA had agreed in writing was acceptable and that we had discussed with them prior to the submission was, to his eye, not appropriate. And they refused to even open the review. I think that's the part that we still can't quite understand. A scientific review of all of this data feels like the appropriate next step.
So, Stephen, talk to us about your perhaps bigger picture concerns about the future here of these technologies. We know this administration has been skeptical, at least pieces of this administration are skeptical about vaccines, but also on mRNA technology. The Secretary Kennedy has slashed funding into developments there, which could be for treatments for both vaccines, but also cancer.
Yeah, that's right. We're excited by the progress we're making across a range of different things. And I would say we're working closely with the FDA on a very large portfolio of medicines, including what we think will be some transformational potential treatments in cancer. Just last month, we announced our 5-year survival data from a melanoma study that we'd run that continued to show statistically significant reduction, about 50% of reduction in the rate of death or relapse of melanoma in patients who'd been diagnosed with it. We're running a phase 3 study this year in melanoma, as well as studies in other cancers, bladder cancer, renal cell, and expect those results to be reading out this year, all based on this technology. So we do think we're just at the beginning of showing its potential impact. And in flu, we didn't think it's very controversial. We've been working hard to try and advance an improved flu vaccine as we move forward with the FDA and around the world. And to your point, we would like to advance that for Americans as well. The product is available, we hope soon, in Europe and other countries. And we'd like to make it sure it's available here because we think it's well aligned with the administration's priorities to have an American-made vaccine for Americans that's actually picked as a composition by Americans.
Seems to make sense. An FDA spokesperson had this to say, quote, "You can either do what's right and give seniors the standard of care that best protects them the best, or you can kind of rig the study so it makes your product look better." The official went on to say, this is not a Moderna unique issue. This is an issue that has gone on at the FDA for decades. Mike Barnicle, why don't you take the next question coming out of that statement?
So, Dr. Hogue, we all realize that this is an anti-vaccine environment in Washington, D.C. right now. We don't know how much longer that will continue. But on the flu vaccine here, what do you do next? Do you stay in for another turn at the batter's box, try to get it done again? What do you do?
So first, outside the U.S., we're proceeding with the reviews, and so that will continue globally. In the case of the U.S., we've requested a meeting with the FDA to understand why the rules have changed after the game has been played, and what does it mean? What are the new standards that are being applied? It's important to say that the FDA approved of this study before we started it. They had to. We submitted the protocol. We told them how we would define success, what the comparator would be, and they had no hold comments, clinical hold comments, and in writing agreed that it would be acceptable as a study. So we really did believe we were playing by the rules of the game that they had set out. And you need that in creating new medicines. It is incredibly long road, very risky. And what we need are clear and transparent rules that are consistently applied so that we can then go about the business of trying to make better medicines. In this case, we believe we did that. We followed those rules, and the trial was successful. The trial they agreed would be acceptable. And so we're now seeking clarity for how those rules have changed and what the next steps might be from the FDA themselves.
President of Moderna, Dr. Stephen Hoge, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. We'll stay on this for sure to see what happens.